Word, what's up everyone? Are you currently in the process of negotiating for orders or looking to relocate or move out here to the Hampton Roads area? Well, in this video, I'm going to discuss 5 things I wish I would have known prior to moving out here, and maybe you can use that information to help you make a more and better informed decision before ultimately deciding to settle down here in Hampton Roads. But before we get into the video, if you're looking to buy, sell, or relocate to the Hampton Roads area and you need assistance, please do not hesitate to reach out to me via phone call, text, or you shoot me an email. My information is in the description below this video, and see if we'll be a great fit to work together to see how I can help you accomplish your goals. All right, let's get into the video. The first thing I wish I would have known is that Hampton Roads is pretty big. Now, it's not big like New York or San Diego, but it's still pretty big for a coastal city. What I mean by that is it's 1.8 million people that live here according to the 2022 Census Bureau, and those 1.8 million people are spread across 7 cities. And those 7 cities are connected by multiple waterways, tunnels, bridges, and highways. The 7 cities I'm talking about is Chesapeake, Hampton, Portsmouth, Suffolk, Virginia Beach, Williamsburg, and Newport News. Now, these 7 cities all offer a diverse living experience, or a multicultural living experience across all the 7 cities, you might say. For instance, if you are into the beach life, then Virginia Beach may be for you. The ocean front down in Virginia Beach is beautiful. There's lots of shopping, lots of things to do. There's a lot of concerts and competitions that happen throughout the summer, and most of them are free. But it's a heavy tourist spot. And most people don't realize that it's like a little hidden gem in the country. That Virginia Beach is an awesome place to visit for the summer. So far to the fact that I say that you have to book like a room to stay downtown on oceanfront at least a year in advance in order to get a good spot. And for some of these concerts, like there's Something on the Water tour by Pharrell that happens every year, you definitely have to book that like a year and a half out in advance in order to get a spot down there. But if that's the type of life you like living on the beach, well, we have that here. Or maybe you're more into like the city life type of feel, like the Gaslamp area in San Diego or downtown Manhattan in New York. Not to that extent, but we have downtown Norfolk. Downtown Norfolk offers you all the amenities of a big town feel, a big city feel in a small town area. There's lots of shopping, there's lots of bars, there's lots of clubs and restaurants, and also a lot of multi-use purpose properties that have condos and on top, but with a lot of shopping and bars and stuff, entertainment within the community down below. So you get that feel as well. Or maybe you more into like a country style living. Then we have Chesapeake and Suffolk. These areas are further out, but they still have like creeks and lakes surrounding the area. There's a lot of hunting, and there's a lot more rural area and a lot more space. Generally, you probably get more land for these type of homes out in these areas because they're further spread apart. So if you're into being more isolated, a little bit more further out away from the hustle and bustle of the city, then Chesapeake and Suffolk may be something you're interested in looking into moving out towards those areas. All I say is to say that you need to do your research and to find out which one will best fit the lifestyle that you're looking for, because we have it here. But it's really important to do your research ahead of time so you won't make a mistake and move somewhere that you do not want to be. The second thing I wish I would have known is about the traffic. There is a massive amount of traffic. Remember those waterways, tunnels, bridges, and highways I talked about connecting the 7 cities? Well, they come into play a lot when we talk about the massive traffic backup. There are 3 major tunnels. There's the Hampton Roads Bridge Tunnel, the Chesapeake Bay Bridge Tunnel, and also the downtown Portsmouth Tunnel. And if you have to transit back and forth between any one of those tunnels in the morning or in the evening, you better be prepared for some massive traffic or congestion when you're going back and forth home. Also, there's lots of drawbridges around the city, and if you catch them at a bad time, you'll actually see those bridges go up, traffic comes to a halt, and you'll watch a ship cruise right past. It's a cool thing to see, but at the same time, you're stuck there for 30 minutes and waiting for it to pass by before you can continue on your transit to home or to work. There's also a lot of train crossing as well that also adds a massive backup in traffic. So it's very important to keep that in mind when making a selection on where you want to live. Are you gonna have to transit through a tunnel or over a bridge or on a highway that gets backed up a lot before you get to work? For instance, Norfolk base. Norfolk base is one of the biggest bases in the country, or the world for that matter. So there's a massive amount of traffic going to that base in the morning. So for instance, when I was stationed there, I would have to leave to go there at least 2 hours in advance just to make sure I made it to work on time, because then once you get there, there's no parking either, but that's a whole nother story. So I would have to leave at least 2 hours in advance to ensure that I got there on time, and then getting caught in the traffic. Between 6 and 8 o'clock, there's a massive amount of traffic trying to get onto that base. And the same thing when you're leaving work. If you leave work after 4 p.m., we'll get ready to be in a lot of traffic. And not just leaving base, but you're also gonna hit that traffic from those tunnels, those bridges, and those train stops on the way back home as well. So definitely keep that in mind when you're making a decision on where to live, because traffic is a massive issue here in the Hampton Roads area. The third thing I wish I would have known is the weather. If you're looking for a place with all 4 seasons, well, look no further. You got it right here in Hampton Roads. From the summers that are scorching hot, getting to excess of 100 degrees, high humidity, to the winters that get down to the teens, and sometimes we have snow. All right, that doesn't happen that often, but I've been here at times we had snow and we couldn't go to work for like a week. So just to put it in perspective, we get all 4 seasons. In the summer, like I said before, it's extremely hot. The best times of the year are in the fall and in the spring, where the weather is kind of calm, right? But during the summer, my electric bill almost doubles, sometimes triple, trying to keep my home cool to fight off the heat. And in the winter, my electric bill also doubles, trying to keep the home warm during the cold winter. All right, and also this place is not designed, Hampton Roads is not designed for tough winters. So when we do get snow, the city and the highways are not prepared to deal with snow and snow piles up. So the bonus thing is there's a lot of snow days built into the school system, because when it is snow, there's a good chance that we're not going to school. And also the same thing for military bases. They're kind of shut down or on a limited availability for people to go on and off base when there's snow. So a lot of people look forward to the snow, but it doesn't happen that often. But when it does, it pretty much shuts the city down. Like I said before, your electric bill can double or triple in the summertime, and it can double or triple during the winter time. So if you like all 4 seasons, you're going to get it here. And also another thing is the rain. It rains a lot here, and the weather keeps you guessing. It's like a box of chocolates off of Forrest Gump. You never know what you're gonna get. It can start off bright and sunny in the morning, and then next thing you know, you're driving in and out of a thunderstorm on the way to work, and then you come back out to head home and it's bright and sunny again. So it just keeps changing up on you. So you also always got to keep an umbrella or a parker in the car ready to go, because you never know when it might start out sunny, you might end up with a thunderstorm on your way home. The fourth thing I wish I would have known about before moving to the Hampton Roads area is how expensive it is to live here. Hampton Roads is one of the top 20% most expensive places to live in the country, and the most expensive place to live in Virginia according to certain polls. Now, it's not as expensive as living in California, San Diego, and San Francisco, or even in New York, but it's pretty expensive compared to other coastal areas and country type living in the East Coast, further down towards the South. What do I mean by that? The taxes here are extremely high, right? There's also property taxes and personal property taxes. For instance, I was a Louisiana resident, but I received a bill in the mail for my car for over $660 for personal property tax. The good thing is, if you're in the military, all you have to do is show your LES and show that you're a resident of another state, and you can get those property taxes waived for every 2 years. You just have to re-show another LES. So that's a tip that you can take with you. However, if you're not in the military and you're relocating to this area, be prepared to pay some high personal property taxes if you purchase or buy things right here in the Virginia area. The housing market is still pretty high. It's not really being affected by the recession and high inflation like there is in other markets. Why? Because we're in a protected bubble with having a multiple amount of military bases and military members transiting in and out of the area. There's people constantly buying and selling homes. So the housing prices have not decreased with the increase of interest rates or with the low inventory that there is here in the area. Housing is extremely expensive. So if you're going to buy a home here, be prepared to shell out a lot amount of money in order to purchase a home here in the area. Some cities are cheaper than others, and that's some things you got to consider when you're looking for an area where you want to buy a home here when you move into the area. And last but not least, the fifth thing I wish I would have known about before moving into the Hampton Roads area is about the crime. Like any city with over 1 million plus people, there's a lot of crime in the area. Now, I don't want to scare you and say, hey, I know I referenced New York a lot in this video, but it's not crime like New York or Chicago, but it's still a fair amount of crime in the area. And each city has their fair share of it. So like any other city, there's pockets in Virginia Beach where it's beautiful, amazing, pretty safe, but then there's other areas in there where it's, you got to be a little bit more cautious. All right. There's other cities for reasons why I can't specifically name a city or call them out, but I highly recommend you do your research when you're deciding where to live in the Hampton Roads area, and to make sure you see what you're getting into. There's apps that you can use like niche.com that is to research neighborhoods and cities, and it'll tell you about the grade of the city and neighborhood based off of multiple factors, including crime. Another thing I like to use is Crime Spot, which is an app where you can literally type in the address of a home that you're thinking about buying, and it'll pull up all the recent crime that happened in the area on a map, and it'll break it down by assault, arson, robbery, theft, and so forth, and you can see what vicinity it is in the vicinity of the home or the area that you're looking for buying. So I say that to say that this place is beautiful, wonderful areas all around in the 7 cities, but like any other city, they do have their fair share of crime, and you need to do your research before you make a decision on purchasing a home in any one of these areas to find out if it's going to be safe for you and your family. Okay, so there you have it. Those are the 5 things I wish I would have known before making the decision to take orders out here at the Hampton Roads area. I hope that information helps you make a more informed decision before you select orders, decide to relocate or move into the Hampton Roads area. But like I said before, if you need help with any of this things like finding a home or selling a home in the Hampton Roads area, please do not hesitate to reach out to me. You can shoot me a text, give me a phone call, or shoot me an email. My information is in the description below.
Subscribe and like and hit the notification bell to watch more videos like this.
Peace.